We'll revisit it.
And we got to talk about our favorite teams here and badmouth some of the other teams that we don't like. Let's get on with the show. I think we have an exciting show for everyone here. We're going to go through and look at everyone's roster. And before we do that, we're going to take a look at some trades. And at the very end, we looked at some websites to see some predictions where the teams are being predicted on where they might finish. So it'll be interesting to see where the different websites are predicting teams, and of course, which teams are predicted to be dominant and which ones are predicted to fall flat. So, Johnny, let's get on with it. First trade to talk about is between Duke Moeller and Martin Haldane. Martin received Chase Brown with the fourth round and Will Richard, which I had no idea who that is, honestly. Apologies.
No, Will
Rickard,
okay.
And Duke receives Tony Pollard and Theo Johnson in a fantasy league. So remember that when we're talking about trades. This is not redraft. This is fantasy. So Theo Johnson entering his second year in the Giants. That's a lot different than Theo Johnson, for a 1 year Theo Johnson in a redraft. Pez, thoughts?
I was just looking then because did Pollard finish the season or did he end up injured at the back end? I can't remember.
He was injured mid-season, but he came back, did he not?
Right. Because Chase Brown's the one who got injured late, didn't he?
Yeah, he missed the end, I think. Or he came back.
Pollard didn't have a terrible season last year, but it certainly wasn't one that was going to win you any championships.
Yeah, so it's the Chase Brown and Theo Johnson. He had Lisfranc surgery, didn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, Johnny, we're all looking at you.
I can't remember.
Wow, call yourself
Pollard.
a Giants fan.
Who's been out?
I'm sure he questionable. Underwent surgery on Monday. Says he should be back.
I think he's on his taxi squad anyway, so he's put on the taxi squad. So
I think Duke's got the better of it just because he's fucking traded for a kicker. Like, what else is he playing at?
It is the last.
I've not even got a fucking kicker yet.
Yeah, you're the one of two, I think it is. So.
Who do you think, Paul?
Well,
which one do you prefer?
If it was me, I would go with Chase Brown for several reasons. One, Theo Johnson hasn't really shown that he has that potential that we talked about last preseason yet. Pollard, I don't think he's going to be even touching the number 21 ranked running back this year as he was last year. Chase Brown, even if he starts slow next season, I think you can get a second-round draft pick easy from Chase Brown, or even a first from a running back needy team. He has trade value. On top of that, I think Chase Brown is going to have a better season than Pollard or Johnson combined. I would definitely give Haldane the win this trade. And what was your judgment, Pez?
I prefer Duke's side just because he traded for a kicker. I think it's absolutely dog shit.
Okay. Will Reichert is a kicker. Okay. Johnny, and which one are you going with?
Probably Chase Brown, because obviously the Bengals have got better offense. Right. And Reichard is a good kicker.
Yeah.
And he's kicking indoors most of the time.
So do they call him Will Dick as a nickname? I don't know.
But probably not up for a kicker, I'm guessing, so I wouldn't do that one probably.
Willie the Dicky. All right, I don't know. All right, so we have 2 for Haldane, Johnny and I, and 1 for Duke with Pez. All right, we got another trade. Let's do it. By the way, that was the first trade in Pez and Port Dynasty League history. Big Dick Will. There you go.
Yes.
I would love to see Al Michaels do that on a game-winning kick. Big Dick Will with the game winner. All right, so Duke again is involved in this trade, and he gets the 49ers. Surprise of last season. He had several good games until I believe he got injured. And Groovy, Gary Thorpe in the chat, he received a kicker, Brandon Aubrey, and a 2026 third round rookie draft choice. For me, I would go with Brandon Aubrey as the clear-cut winner in this. I mean, Brandon Aubrey is a hell of a kicker with a leg that's going to give you 4 or 5 50-yarders. That's 5 points right there at least. He might surprise you with a couple of 60-yarders. I would take Aubrey over Garendo any day. Johnny, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Dallas are trying to go for a field goal, especially long ones. Getting a third round pick next year. Garendo, is he going to be the backup, or
they drafted a
rookie
rookie
as well?
Yeah, the rookie's going to be the starter. CMC's going to be the backup, and then he's just going to be the third. That's a Shanahan thing, isn't it?
So in other words, Groovy wins that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain Groovy's going to win that. But hey, these late round draft trades, I love to see them. Yeah.
The thing what I thought from the first one is because it's a startup, it's all picks, isn't it? So he didn't actually trade for the kicker; he traded for the pick.
Right.
What was the kicker? But
that's
it is what it is. So
it was just the kicker that ended up being the pick.
Gary's won this because he's got in a dynasty. He's got the third round for next year, and he's got the decent kicker. Unfortunately, it pains me to have to side with Gary here. But Gary makes a good point. But I saw what he commented on before that Mullins will probably end up taking over the Titans' backfield, and I think he will eventually. I like him as a running back he was on that Michigan team that no one it was disgusting to watch, but he still had decent production as the running back. So I do agree with Gary on that. I think that he'll eventually end up taking the job with the Titans, depending if Spears and his 0 ACLs holds up in the season.
All right.
I'm agreeing with Gary far too much here.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with him far too much. Week 1 needs to come.
Hey, Martin, there's a line.
Here he is.
You need to catch up on the chat on the side there, Martin.
Yeah, so if everyone would like to comment maybe on the Falcons draft, Ian, Gary, if you wanted to comment on the 49ers draft, you can share your opinions on that in the chat. Yeah, all right.
Dynasty football and
Johnny, let's go to the next trade.
So the next trade also intertwines with the trade after, just so you see with the pick, because this one gets traded.
All right. So Haldane again is involved. Haldane and Duke are quite active in the trades.
So he didn't. Haldane got the 211 to the 310 of 403. He did not actually pick Devin Neal because he traded it away again in the next.
And these are in the rookie. Well, the 211 is in the rookie draft, correct?
They're all in the rookie
draft.
He's
put that. He's put rookie picks trade.
Rookie picks trade, okay. Did we have 4 rounds in the rookie pick, though? I don't remember. How many rounds did we have? Yeah. And then Khalil Mullins.
Well, I think you were on holiday. You were on holiday at the time, so you probably.
Yeah, I was on holiday 3 weeks in Thailand and then a week in San Pablo Laguna, and so I was on holiday in Thailand during the NFL draft, so I didn't get to watch any of it. I was drinking some beers on the beach and having a good time. I'm not familiar much with Khalil Mullins or Tez Johnson, so I'm going or Devin Neal, to be honest. Pez, I'm gonna.
It's Devin Noel, I think. It's not.
Okay, Devin Noel. I'm gonna rely on your opinion on this particular trade, Pez. If you have any knowledge to share, because I'm not familiar with these guys. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Don't make me laugh at the sewer.
Gonna say poor
Actually,
Johnny's
I was on holiday during
me.
most of our drafts. Actually, yes, I was. I tried to make them as quick as possible. I didn't hold anyone up, but I certainly didn't do a lot of analysis before most of my picks, unfortunately.
Well, Devin though got trade picked by the Saints, and there's probably a good chance he might be the takeover from Kamara, and your poor Kendry will go down
No,
to third.
man, no way.
He's gonna take over your boy. Oh, the future, the future.
It's Kendra Miller's year, man. It's his year.
It's not anymore, mate.
Not anymore, because that
Not
was better
fucking
than by a
anymore.
long way. Oh boy,
He's done.
Done.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
What, audio only. He's a way to get the AK. He's a way to get the AK-47.
Oh man. So, did Martin trade away his pick? So he never actually got.
Yeah, he didn't actually. No, he traded this one away in the next trade as well to the same person.
Right.
But that's another story. So, at the point, they traded up for the 211 and got rid of the 310 and 403. I think he was actually doing that to get the next trade. You know what I mean? So Arthur picked Tez Johnson, who's was he like the 6th round pick, something like that?
Yeah.
Right on. And Mullins, who got drafted him again? It was
Titans.
So yeah,
he's the running back for the Titans. We were just speaking about him then.
So he could end up being the number 1 running back.
He potentially could, but the path really is Devin Neal's probably going to be
starter first.
The 2 behind Kamara and probably used more.
Yeah.
Whereas Mullins has got to beat out Spears and Pollard to then get there. So I'd say the Devin Neal side is probably fantasy value wise, but then it's Dynasty, so it really depends what Tez Johnson is, because everyone kind of buzzed off him. I plan to trade. Right, there we are.
Yeah, this draft was running back heavy.
So
not all these running backs are going to end up being like top 10 backs, and that's the thing. Is Mullins in Tennessee a top 10 back, a top 15 back? And I mean,
hi, Mike.
Is Neal in the Saints going to be a top 15 back with the Saints? You're heading in the wrong direction.
That's our current Orkney Bowl champion coming up saying that Mullins stinks.
All right. What is Michael's team, by the way? What team do you follow, Michael?
Michael's not actually in the Orkney this draft, but he's obviously the champion.
No, I mean, what team does he follow? Like the Jets?
Oh, I'll have to check that one up. Hold on.
Michael, what NFL team do you follow? We'll just, if he's on, we'll just get him to put it in the chat. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree with Groovy here. The Saints are going to be terrible, I believe.
He's a Rams fan.
Rams fan.
Oh, of course he is.
Yeah.
Of fucking course.
As long as they have McVay, they have a chance. But when he leaves, the Rams, I think, are going to go down. But let's get to the next trade.
This is a glorious thing.
Haldane used that Neal pick.
This is the fucked up one.
Hey, I respect Batch tremendously.
Was it Batch?
Okay, I made a trade with Batch in another league, and we were pretty close, real close. And he would not. He held his line, drove a hard bargain. And then I look at this, I'm like, what the hell is Batch thinking? I mean, there's nothing here in total that I would trade for Ashton Gianti. I mean,
the thing is, right, you say that, right, and I get it, because everyone's seen the highlights of him. His stats are there from college football and this, that, and the other. He's with Pete Carroll. You know he's going to run the football. You know that's going to be his number 1 goal. That's who he is as a head coach. So all them things are like, yes, wicked. But he's a running back. And he could easily take a whack to the knee,
what
and that's him
Carroll
done.
did with Marshawn
So in
Lynch,
Dynasty,
man.
But Genty isn't Marshawn Lynch. We don't know Genty's going to hold up like
True
Marshawn
that.
did. Like in Dynasty, Batch has got an absolute fucking daylight robbery steal just for one guy. And we've never seen him play in the NFL.
Well, I mean,
like
Shaheed is with the Saints with Tyler Shuck, perhaps, as the quarterback. Shaheed is at least number 2, maybe 3 at times on the pecking list of targets. Juan Jennings might be a steal. He's definitely going to be wide receiver 2 this year, I guess, depending on Pearsall. He does have first next year.
Well, you got
Pearsall.
But that first can make the difference. If Haldane, his team tanks this year, that first could end up being extremely valuable.
the thing is, right, Juwan Jennings, you got to think, Debo's gone, Ayuk's injured, so Gary might be able to tell us if he's going to be back, and he's a fucking nightmare by the sounds of it. So Jennings is going to be one of the lead guys with Pearsall. Pearsall looked really good at the end of last year. Shaheed, a lot of it can't stay on the field. Like, he's probably one more concussion away from just retiring because he keeps on just getting knocked out of games. So Shaheed ends up being like one of the main guys. He's got a second, third, and fourth, and a second next year in a dynasty fantasy draft. I understand Genty could be the next biggest running back. I was trying to think of one in my head.
He
I
could be the
can't
next
even think
Derrick
of one
Henry
at the
that
moment.
busts out, or Jonathan Thomas that busted out when he was young. I mean, I get it,
But he could also not be able to do what he did for Boise State in the NFL.
Typically, when you have these type of dominant running backs in college, if you look, Ricky Williams, he did well. If you look at Barry Sanders, that's the type of numbers he put up with Barry Sanders numbers. Emmitt Smith, he had same type of, early numbers. These running backs translate to the NFL when they put up that type of video game numbers. But you're right. He could end up getting an ACL tear in practice day one.
Well, I was saying that before the show. Like, I traded away the 101. I already had the 108 for 2 seconds, a 2026 one and a 2027 one, because I didn't really need a running back. And as Scatterbo said in the interview, he says it doesn't matter what you do in college. When you come to NFL, it's completely different.
Certainly. But he does have
You're going to get hit harder. You're going to be against faster defenders, bigger players against you. It's just going to be a lot tougher. He might be absolutely amazing, but you don't know until he actually takes the snap.
If your own line stinks,
yeah,
and the defense is living in your backfield, like Gary mentioned, he's only small.
Yeah, like
it can play to your advantage, but it can massively play to your disadvantage as well. So I just think do it. It's a bit of fun, and it's going to be great for us to laugh at because we can do Genty Watch every single week, and if it goes terribly wrong, then Martin can join us and we can just laugh at him. But we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, did you get that comment, Pez?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the next one. We've spent a lot of time.